Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So for today I've decided to do my favorites of the months, but as I've been let's say absent for a long time, for a long period because I was sick, I decided to group my favorites for the months of January and February, so to put them all together. Because also as I was sick I didn't use as many fragrances as usual, I may say, because for sure there were at least 2 or 3 weeks I didn't wear any fragrances at all, so okay, I thought okay, it should be okay and should not be too long to talk about my favorites for these 2 months. So let's start with the first one. So this is the fragrance Neroli outrenoir by Guerlain that I already talked a lot about, which is a beautiful citrus fragrance. So of course Neroli, but also orange blossom and tea. Super bright, super elegant, super comforting. I've already reviewed it on my channel, so check it if you're interested to know more about this one. But what was new to me also, and I combined this month the fragrance with the body lotion. So yeah, I don't know if you know, but they released body lotions with this in this range. So there are 3 releases. I guess you have Neroli outrenoir, you have also Herbe troublante and Rose chérie, which is quite smart, I guess, because these are 3 that maybe you can group with some other fragrances from the range. Honestly, this one is really good to be worn with the other citrus fragrances, so it's working really well, of course, with sorry, Neroli outrenoir. It's because I've been wearing also Angélique Noir, so you'll see next month. Yeah, I think it's working really well with the fragrance. Of course, it's making it last longer, so this is something, if you have a longevity issue, if your skin is really dry, I really recommend you to group it with the body lotion. Or let's say if you find the fragrances now by Guerlain really expensive, which is the case, I also do think that they are really expensive now, you can buy the body lotion, and yes, and maybe the scent won't be as projecting, let's say, but the longevity is really good also with the body lotion. So voilà, if you're interested in the body lotion, it's also less expensive. This is really big, I don't know if you can see it, but they feel really luxury. They are almost €100, around €100. They're really big and they are refillable, so when you refill them they are less expensive, and I think they are really good. They also sell the soap. I don't know if it's for hand or body, but the problem for me is that if I have this kind of soap in my bathroom, I'm sure my kid will use it, and in 1 week it was going to be empty. So if I have to spend 80 or €100 for something that's going to be empty in 1 week, I'm not happy about it. So that's why I chose the body lotion. At least I'm the only one to use it, and it's perfect. It's working really well with the Neroli outrenoir. I'm sure it will work perfectly well also with some Aqua Allegoria. I have some in mind, like Bergamot Calabria. I think it's going to be great with orange blossom fragrances and citrus fragrances, so definitely one to use as a combo with other fragrances to make them last. My next favorite of the month is an old one, let's say. Yeah, but I always go back to it when spring arrives. And this is Mademoiselle by Guerlain, so another Guerlain. This is from the collection Les Parisiennes, and I really enjoy this one. This is indeed my favorite from this, unfortunately, discontinued collection. And this one is the scent of to me orange blossom with the marshmallow, but it's quite sweet, but not as sweet as Love Don't Be Shy, you know. It has an edge, it has something playful, joyful that reminds me of some Guerlain fragrances, you know. It really has this touch, and it has also a beautiful note of iris on my skin. I'm wondering if it doesn't have some tea, but okay. And in the opening it has a very sharp green note. I'm wondering if it's galbanum or maybe petit grain, but it's really sharp in the opening. So for people who don't like green fragrances, you can be a bit surprised, I think. But I love green fragrances, and I love the evolution of this one. It's really beautiful. One of my favorite, but unfortunately discontinued. My next fragrance is a fragrance by a brand I talked about a little bit on my channel, and this is Eau de Reims by Reims Parfums. So I already talked, I think, about this fragrance maybe last year in my wish list, or I did something about the brand. I remember maybe it was the 3 brands you need to try. I talked about this brand. So basically the story behind the brand is like a tribute to the city of Reims, which is kind of close to my heart, let's say, because my family live nearby, and this is also my family name comes from this city. And of course I decided to try this brand and try this fragrance because having a fragrance with my name on it is quite intriguing, of course, for me. So this is a fresh fragrance, let's say, a clean, fresh fragrance. It has the note of Neroli. I think it has also some moss. It's quite green. But if I put the notes aside, the impression that I get from this fragrance is like the soil of this region. It's quite hard to describe, but you know, I kind of grew up there. I spent my childhood in this region, and I don't know, the smell of the earth there, it's quite special to me. You know, the soil has a special smell, and also my grandparents were farmers, so I really know the smell of the soil there, and there is something here that really reminds me of that. So it's not too present, but something in the background. And in the end, the impression that I got, I was completely transported in my past, let's say, in a memory, like people were going out of church, you know, they had this kind of cologne smell on them, like this Neroli smell. Just after, you know, they used to work in the morning, because of course they're all farmers. In the morning they take care of their animals. They are working in their farm, and after that they take a shower, or they clean quickly as they can. They put some fresh clothes and they put this cologne on top. And in the end, this is this impression that I got, like the memory that I got from this fragrance, and I really like that. So it's talking to me. I was really touched by this fragrance because of that. This is also the magic part of fragrances, is that they can transport you to some places, to some memories that you have, and this is also what I really enjoy in fragrances. So yeah, another one that really transports me, and which is quite new also in my collection, is Jasmin de Pays by Perris Monte Carlo. So I think I bought this one I think there was a sale or end of the year sale, and I got this one with Vanille de Tahiti. Because I really wanted to get Vanille de Tahiti, and in the end this is the one that I wore, and I wore it more, let's say, than Vanille de Tahiti so far, so quite a good surprise. And I really love this one because it's also really transports me to some memories that I have. So my mother lives in the south of France now, and she has a little garden with some jasmine that are growing there. So I think she has a summer jasmine and winter jasmine, something like that. But the smell that I get from this fragrance is really like waking up in the morning and having this fresh smell of jasmine coming in the house. And it has this scent which is really inviting, but quite green and fresh at the same time, you know, like the one that you smell really early in the morning. So this one is really realistic, super fresh, super green. I don't exactly know what it is, because to me this is kind of a soliflor. So what I smell in the end is jasmine. I'm sure that there are some other notes to emphasize this different aspect of the jasmine. Maybe some green notes, some spices also to enhance a little bit that. But in the end what I get is a fresh and green jasmine, pretty natural. This is a beautiful scent. My next one is a green fragrance, and this is a fragrance by Trudon. This is Aphélie. So I tried most of their fragrances last year. I guess I don't know why I completely ignored at some point these fragrances, but they are really great. I love them all. And at some point I realized they have travel size, so which is really great also for my wallet. And lately I've been craving for this one because I don't know why, I went to the store and I wanted to wear something green. So when I know that I'm trying some fragrances, I don't wear any fragrance, just to be sure that it's not interacting with what I'm trying. And I was smelling a lot of fragrances, and I was craving for this day for something green. And I completely fell in love with this one, and I ordered a travel size of it. So what does it smell like to me? It's like you're walking in a garden, maybe under the rain, you have really this green feeling, like the garden is really green. It's not perfectly trimmed, you know, you have all these bushes, you have these rose bushes, you have this, how do you call that, lierre in English? I think it's ivy, you know, this ivy plant just running on an old wall, you know, an old brick wall. This is really the impression that I got, like smelling this ivy on the old brick wall, these rose bushes. So this is really, I don't know, the image that I get here. It's super green, it's a bit grassy, and this is super realistic. It has also something musky behind. There is something in this type of fragrance that reminds me a bit of l'ombre dans l'eau. You know, this is this type of fragrance, green, rosy, with this musk, this clean musk behind. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Musk is not something that I love in fragrances, but it doesn't bother me. I really enjoy that. And I think this one was created by Antoine Lie. Yeah. So lately I've been really into Antoine Lie fragrances, and this is one of them. Okay, so my next one is also by Trudon. I think it was also created by Antoine Lie, if I'm not mistaken, and this is Bruma. So Bruma is the iris fragrance from the range. Definitely a beautiful fragrance. I also immediately fell in love when I smelled this one, because this is clearly my type of fragrances. So this is a green iris fragrance. The iris is quite floral, I want to say. It has a hint of a violet edge to it. And the opening is quite green, so this is the kind of fragrance that I love. I think maybe if you love, not as green, you know, and sharp as number 19, but if you love this kind of fragrances, maybe you would enjoy this one. Or maybe if you love Belle Respiro, I also really enjoy Belle Respiro, but you know, in this vein of fragrances. So this one is also really pretty, but it stays quite close to the skin. I would have enjoyed a bit more projection maybe with this one, but still, this is one that I really enjoyed. Smelled like a second skin to me, and I really enjoyed it. So my next one, I think it's also a fragrance by Antoine Lie, and this is by the brand Les Indémodables. This fragrance is Musc des sables. So I sprayed my hands, I don't know if you can see my shiny nails, but yeah, but it's fragrance on it. So yeah, this one I smelled it, and this was my favorite one when the collection was released. When I tried them at first, everyone was in Vanille, what was it, Vanille de Havane, something like that. But for me, the star of the show was this one. I don't know why. I'm not a fan of musk, but here I don't really smell. Yeah, I don't smell white musk at all. You know, so white musk is something a bit tricky for me. It can smell a bit synthetic, sharp, detergent-like, and I don't like that. But what I love in this one, it has this fresh opening, but immediately after that you're into something deeper, I want to say. It's super elegant, but it has something a bit dirty in it, you know, a bit animalic and a bit intriguing and attractive to me. It's like what I described with this one, like, you know, you get already working a few hours and then you have to go out. Or I don't know, if you come back after a night out and you have this this mix of fragrance on you with something like a skin scent, you know. So it's a bit salty. I think it's coming from the ambergris. The ambergris is something that is really addictive to me, and I think this fragrance may have lots of ambergris and iris. It's not super floral, so I would say more the oris than the iris. Yeah, oh, super elegant, clean, dirty at the same time, and fresh. Super beautiful, completely unisex to me. I think men would really love this one, and I really like it too, so yeah, really great creation. Okay, my next one is by the brand Les Abstraits, Eugene's brand, and this is Belle. So I've already been talking about this one. I've tried it on my channel and I really love his fragrances, and this one was my favorite one. My sample ran out really quickly, so at some point I got to jump on the bottle. It is one of the most beautiful, comforting iris I've ever smelled. It's super elegant, super soft, comforting. It smells like quality to me. I love how all these notes are blended together, so I get this iris, but blended with this kind of cacao note, which is super realistic, super powdery, super addictive at the same time. I really love that. And mixed with the tonka beans, I get something almondy, so it's super comforting and pretty. It's a bit sweet, but not that much. I think I get also some rose from it because I have something a bit like geranium or geraniol. I think there is geraniol here, a little bit, so it may come from rose. I really like that. Beautiful fragrance. I'm really curious to see what's coming next. Okay, so I had to make some space. So we've talked about, let's say, my fresher fragrances that I've been wearing these last 2 months. Also some of the comforting ones. And now we're getting into the stronger and the stronger ones, because I don't want to kill my nose from the beginning with the strong ones. So now another one that I've been wearing also when it was quite cold, because it's quite comforting to me. And this is darbouka by l'Orchestre Parfums. So you've been hearing a lot about this brand, I guess 1 or 2 years ago when they released their collection. They are still really good to me. So I don't know if you can focus. This one opens quite fresh, so it's quite a fresh opening, but from the beginning you feel that there is something warmer that is coming behind. What I love in this one is quite spicy. I love this note of Immortelle. This is a note that I love, so of course. And this Immortelle is giving me some tobacco vibe. So you know, Immortelle is a really beautiful, complex note to my nose. It has something salty. Most of the time it makes me think of sand. You know, it has this sand smell to me, which can also lean into tobacco. And this is what I get here. I have something like lots of spices, tobacco, but I think this may come from this mix with the spices and Immortelle. We have something a little bit of cinnamon, cloves, you know, all these spices together. And I have a warm woody base also. It's super warm, comforting, really enveloping, a really beautiful fragrance. Love this one. This is definitely the kind of DNA that I love in fragrances, so of course this one is a love. So my next one is a Dior fragrance. I feel like it's been a while. I've not been talking about Dior. So this fragrance is Ambre Nuit, so it's from their special collection. And this one is not one that I wear a lot. I really need to be in the mood for it. It's a beautiful amber fragrance, but leaning more into amber green to me. Yeah, but I think it has the other, let's say, characteristic of amber fragrances like patchouli, labdanum, a hint of vanilla. I don't get a lot of vanilla in this one because some amber smell really vanillic, but it's not the case here. And really beautifully blend with the rose. So this is a rose fragrance with an amber base. Really beautiful, completely unisex, but almost leaning a little bit more masculine to me. And it smells really dressed up, like a man wearing a suit, a day out at night. You know, this kind of type of fragrance, going to a wedding. So this is really a dressed up fragrance to me. This is not something that I would see myself enjoying like with a pair of jeans and a white t-shirt, you know. I need to be a bit dressed up to enjoy this one. So maybe that's why I'm not wearing it that much. But okay. This was one that I wore a bit this last 2 months and I really enjoyed. Okay, so my next one is by Guerlain. I sprayed my fingers again, but okay. This is Bois d'Arménie, which is such a beautiful, warm, cozy fragrance. This is the king or queen of benzoin. If you love benzoin in fragrances, you definitely need to try this one. So what I get the most from this one is benzoin and maybe a bit of gaiac wood in the evolution, you know, to get this a little bit of smokiness, but I wouldn't say that it's a super smoky fragrance. So if you're afraid of that, don't worry. I'm not sure. I definitely get the smell of, yes, it's a Bois d'Arménie. It's Arménie paper, you know, this paper that you burn or that you put in your closet, you know, it has something smoky, you know, in it. I don't have lots of smokiness from this fragrance, but I have lots of coziness coming from the benzoin, leaning a little bit vanillic, you know. I really love that. If you love Le Régent, if you love benzoin, this kind of fragrances, definitely try Bois d'Arménie. It's a super underrated fragrance from this collection. Really beautiful. Okay, so my next one, I feel like that I'm smelling it, I feel like it's a mix between Bois d'Arménie and Ambre nuit. So yeah, so my next fragrance is by Amouage, and this is Material. So this is a beautiful amber with vanilla and benzoin fragrance. Really love that. I have a little bit of something like a maybe woody or waxy feel from it. A little bit incensey, but I really love that. I'm not an incense girl, you know. There are a few incense fragrances that I enjoy, and I really enjoy the incense in this one, mixed with this benzoin, this vanilla, this amber. Super pretty. I think I've watched Arlene talking about this one lately, and she said there is apparently it's supposed to have oud in it, but I don't really get the oud. No, I don't. So maybe maybe there's oud in this fragrance, but not in a volume, let's say, that yeah, that is really prominent to my nose. So I don't know, but definitely if you love cozy fragrances, benzoin, like Bois d'Arménie, it's giving me kind of the same vibe, you know, of Bois d'Arménie, with some dressed up feel also, like Ambre nuit. So it's like a dressed up amber vanilla fragrance. I really feel like smelling like luxury, you know. This one really smells like luxury to me. It's such a beautiful fragrance. I heard a lot of people talking about it, and when it was released, I immediately tried it on store, praying not to love it because, of course, it's super expensive and I didn't want to pay the price for it. And I was super happy to find a good deal on it, like half of the price maybe lately, and yeah, definitely worth it. So super happy to have it. Beautiful fragrance. I think for fall and winter. Next fall I'm gonna spray it like crazy. Maybe not too crazy because yeah, it's expensive, but yeah, super happy to have that one in my collection. Okay, the last fragrances I want to talk about are super potent, so I kept them for the end because yes, as it was quite cold in January and February, I splurge into my really strong fragrances. The first one I want to talk about is one that maybe I can wear, and I think I wore it already in other period of the year except winter, because yes, this is Oud Satin Mood, and this is this format, this is the Elixir. So this is why I think this one you can wear yes, during the years, because this one sits quite close to the skin because of this format. So this is an oil. And you have this little roller, you know, you just roll it on your wrist or in your neck. And what I really enjoy, it smells like the Oud Satin Mood, of course, but it's a bit more vanillic and close to the skin. So if you want something which is, let's say, a bit more vanillic version of Oud Satin Mood, you still have the rose, the oud, the beautiful oud, and the vanilla, but I feel like this one as maybe a bit more vanilla. It sits closer to the skin. It projects a bit more, but you have a beautiful sillage when you work with this one. I really love this oil. You see, it's really thick. I really love that. It smells quite strong, but yeah, super beautiful. I love that. Yeah, and the violet also. I almost forgot the violet, but oh yes, but this is the note that makes it super attractive to me, and I really get lots of violets from it with the vanilla. Super beautiful, love it. My next one is the super famous Oud Bouquet. So of course I wrote this one also. This was the perfect period of the year to wear it. I felt like maybe it was a bit different from the last time I smelled it. Yeah, of course you have this beautiful rose. It's sweet. It's a sweet syrupy rose with oud and praline. And it's something smoky behind. I think it has gaiac wood. I love this note, gaiac wood. So every time there is gaiac wood somewhere, this is something that I spot usually. So it is also quite funny because this fragrance smelled a bit different from what I used to have. So I get less the rose than I used to. It was a bit stronger. It was really more smoky. I had lots of, I had more the gaiac wood and the praline, the sweetness, than the rose that I used to have. So I thought maybe this is because the fragrance also is aging in the bottle. So now it feels stronger than it used to be when I bought it. So I don't know if you have the same impression or same feel if you have this fragrance too, but yeah, definitely it was really, really strong the last time I wore that one, and stronger than it used to be. And it's still a strong fragrance, so you can imagine. My next one is also super strong fragrance. So I wore this one lately because I was reminded of John from St. John Snow, that I had this fragrance, because sometimes, you know, when you have lots of fragrances, you tend to forget that you have them, these wonderful fragrances. And this one, oh yeah, this one is Rosewood by Dior. So from the last release that they released lately, this last year's, this is really the one that got my attention. I love all the different woods that you have in this fragrance, and on my skin they really shine. So you have the wood, you have the rosewood, I think you have sandalwood also, different woods, but I really smell them separately and beautifully on my skin. You have also this animalic feel, so it's a bit leathery, but more like a fur, I want to say, you know, not like really the skin, you know, the leather from the skin, from the, you don't have this gasoline feel, you know, that you can have from the leather sometimes in fragrances. Here you don't have that at all. It's more like a fur, you know, like a soft animal, a bit sweet, a bit fruity, super pretty, definitely unisex also, super strong. So yeah, keep quiet on the trigger. Yeah, I mean, don't spray it a lot, don't overspray this one, because you're gonna kill people around you, especially if you wear it to work. So keep quiet with this one. Yes, and my last wood fragrance, I guess you can, I think you can guess which one it is. I've already talked about it lately because I've been spraying it like crazy, and this is Cherry Oud. So this is one of the last fragrances released by Guerlain in this collection, in this Oud collection that had lots of critics, I think, and this one, just a few, I feel like just a few people really enjoyed that one. But I love it so much. I mean, this is definitely one that I love. I love the sharpness of the oud mixed with the sweetness, with the almond feel from it. I really love it. I feel like this is one I would never get rid of it. I would never get tired of it. I could wear this one a full week and not being tired of it. I just love when I smell it on my clothes the next day, in my hair. Just love this one. So yeah, if you love the idea of sweet oud with almond, just try this one. Definitely. Okay, so now maybe let's talk about my discoveries of the month. So I had a few which are really, really good. Let me see. Okay, let's take this one. Maybe it's the lightest of the bunch. Yeah, so this one is a super fresh and beautiful citrus fragrance, and this is Arancia Rosa by Laborattorio Olfativo. So I tried this one, I think it was in January, then it directly jumped into my wish list. So I've talked already about this one lately in my previous video, because then it's on my wish list now. So I love the smell of it. It's like mixing pomelo and blood orange, super juicy. Make me feel like I definitely want to eat citrus after that. I want to eat pomelo, I want to eat oranges. Smells super good, super realistic, a bit sharp, not too sweet, but a bit of sweetness. Perfectly mastered by Jean-Claude Helena, which is to me the master of citrus. So yeah, definitely a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. My next one is completely different, but this is a fragrance by Les Indémodables. And this fragrance is Ambre Suprême. So I've heard a lot about this one. Many people were saying that this was a great fragrance. I think I saw Rich Mitch talking about this one also. I think he was the one who made me want to try this fragrance. And wow, indeed, if you love ambergris, I think you need to try that. This is super great. It's hard for me to explain or to imagine what are the notes in this one, but definitely ambergris is jumping to my nose. What else? I don't know, maybe a bit of iris too, a bit of iris, and patchouli. I think it has patchouli and ambergris. It has something close, you know, in that sense to Musc des Sables. I think they are cousins. They're in the same family. So if you enjoy Musc des Sables, I think should try Ambre Supreme. Maybe it's more about the ambergris here. Super beautiful. It smells like quality to me also. Super great. Okay, my next fragrance is by the brand Jardin d'Écrivain, and this is Podane. So Podane is a fragrance, maybe if I can zoom in. So Podane is a fragrance that I got in a box. So maybe you know that Eau Parfum, you know, they have this box that you buy each month for, I don't remember, 29 or 30 euros, something like that. And then you get 5 ml of, you don't know, whatever fragrance. So you get 4 different fragrances in the box and 5 ml of these fragrances. And I really, really enjoy this one. This is definitely my type of fragrances. So this one has some freshness. It has definitely violet in it. So it has a clean, soapy feel with some freshness on top, and violet note, which is slightly, not leathery, but slightly like a suede feel to it. Oh, I really love that. I heard it has a carrot note, but I don't really get, usually I get the carrot seed or carrot note, but I don't have that much of it. So I think the inspiration behind was, of course, Podane, you know, maybe you know the tail, you know. And this was the inspiration behind this fragrance. Jardin d'Écrivain is a really great brand. So far I loved everything that I tried from them. They are not really hyped. Their fragrances are not expensive at all for a niche brand and for the quality of what you get. The scents are really pleasing. I love what they do. So if you want to try something new, I think Jardin d'Écrivain is really a brand to try. And Podane, as you can see, I've already been wearing it a lot. So hopefully I already have a second box of it, so I have 10 ml of this fragrance. So I'll see if I finish both. Maybe I'm going to buy this one because I really enjoyed it. Definitely beautiful scent also that I wore to go to bed these last 2 months. And my last one was such a revelation. I mean, you can see I don't have a lot left, unfortunately, from this one, but this is Tiger by Francesca Bianchi. So I've been craving to try this brand. I think I quickly tried 1 or 2 of her fragrances and they were definitely not for me. I don't remember which one exactly, but there was something that I liked in her style, you know. It was really bold and there was something that I love, even if she was using sometimes notes that I don't like. I feel like I really enjoyed what I smelled in her fragrances, so I definitely wanted to try more. And in one of the box, Eau Parfum box, there was Tiger, so I ordered it to try this one, and this was such a revelation. I mean, usually these kind of fragrances are not for me. It's super strong on the peach. It's a peach fragrance, super sweet. Yes, sugary sweet, caramelized peaches with honey. And usually I don't like honey in fragrances, but I love the note of honey in this one with the note of peaches. They're so beautiful. I feel like there are some white flowers behind, maybe osmanthus, which is giving me something a little bit leathery. So I have also violet leaves, which are giving me also this leathery feel, but not like a strong, sharp, harsh leather, but more like a supple suede, like a second skin. Super comforting, beautiful. I love it. It's so addictive to me. I've been wearing it like crazy. This is not my type of fragrance at all, but I just love it, you know. This is so well made. And it has something that made me think of Mitsuko in this one. So I don't know if this is the peach with something in the background. So maybe there is sandalwood and oak moss. I feel like there are some similarities with Mitsuko in this one, but it's like Mitsuko and testosterone. I don't know, you know. Like Mitsuko took some steroids, you know. It's kind of stronger, bolder. And I just love that. I love her style. I love this fragrance. Definitely one that is also coming to my wish list. Yeah, I want a bottle of that because I'm sure I'm gonna finish that and I'm gonna miss it so much, because just smelling it and smelling it also on my clothes, I just love that. So yeah, beautiful creation and such a great discovery. So voila, these were my favorites for the months of January and February. It was a lot, but in the end for 2 months, not that much if you know me. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Tell me what you've been wearing these last months, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye!